Alright, I'm back. It's your April tier list time. It looks like a small animal died on my head, and let's get right into it. So, instead of the don't play this tier, we now have the poop tier. And volcanics are going to be on the list. That's basically the only changes for this month, and some things are going to be shuffled around. So, if you don't want to see me like rank everything individually, you can go ahead and skip to the end and I'll scroll through and you can see everything. But if you do, and you want to hear my reasoning behind it, here we go. So first we have Emancipator. You could play it. It's just underpowered right now. I really wouldn't recommend it. And this list is for like ranked or tournaments if you're going to play the deck. If you're playing things in casual, play whatever you want in casual. It's casual. Um, Next we have Dragon Maid, playable. I'd actually even put it higher than Emancipator. Dragon Link, I'm gonna put Dragon Link in okay. It's a little bit better than playable, but it's seen better days. Eldritch is actually gonna move up to okay at the ass end of okay. They got Conquistador back. There's better back row decks to play though, so it's just not really good. But it can go in the okay tier. Exodia, I'm gonna put Exodia in poop tier just because it's too easy to disrupt, and Runic still exists, even though you don't see it very much in ranked, and you banish one piece and the deck is basically screwed. Um, Marincis can be an okay. It's a best of one format. It can make a really hard to break board. The deck is decent. I don't think it belongs in like the great or best decks of the format category. The Ishizu deck is pretty much dead at this point. Most of the stuff's just been hit. A lot of the combo ability's gone. Glad Beast, they're also going to be in the poop tier. I'm going to put Ancient Warriors in playable. I'm going to put Ancient Gear in playable. Mainly because while the decks are not good, the decks are bad. If you're going second and you're set up to go second, and you like evenly match your opponent or you lightning storm your opponent, and then you just basically slam all your cards on the table, you have more resources than your opponent, but you have these huge boss monsters. The deck can do work. Like I didn't lose to it, but when I was going through Platinum, my dog always goes nuts every time I do a tier list. When I was playing through Platinum, I encountered a couple Ancient Gear players. I got lightning stormed. I did not lose to them. I managed to grind it out, but I almost did. And I was playing full power Snake Eyes, and they just had the juice to almost OTK me on their turn. And so this deck can be scary if done right. Cyber Dragons are going to be put in playable. Clockwork Knight, Shenanigans. Pretty good. You can basically just contact any board. Um, Heroes, I'm actually going to put in okay. I'm going to put Heroes in okay for one reason, and that's Darklaw. If you go first with Heroes, and you Darklaw, and your opponent's running Snake Eyes, they're going to have a difficult-ish time because they can bait out like the one add effect to banish a random card in hand, but the random card you hit could be crucial to their combo. Plus, this being macro on wheels is really rough. Like they're gonna have to have an imperm or something for it. The deck is okay, mainly because of Dark Law, but the deck is okay. Evil Heroes, poo tier. Menju Banish is playable, but it's not a good state right now. We don't have the Fire King support, so right now Fire Kings are still poo. When we get the Fire King support, that is going to change. Inzectors, I'm gonna put them in poo tier. I love the deck. I really love the deck. I still have the full power Inzector deck. I'm never dusting it. But it's just not good. Gate Guardian, I'll put him playable. It was kind of carried by there can only be one, but you can run other floodgates with it now, and you can kind of just have the deck be doing things and just say, this is popping, this is happening. Um, it's okay-ish. I definitely feel like it deserves to be in the butt end of playable, and it might even get moved into poop tier by then. Mana Diem. think it's gonna be the king of okay, possibly dangling off the end of great by the time we're done with this. Adagnister is definitely great. The giant boss monster that is unaffected is pretty much good in any format. If someone's running kaijus, that's gonna suck for you, but other than that, it's hard to get rid of it when it's like 5 or 6,000 attack. Herald is pretty much poo-poo tier at this point. Endymion is going to be an okay. It's going to be probably ahead of Marincis, behind Vanadium. This is so weird. This is so weird to say, but I've been seeing a lot of decent Invoked variants lately. I'm actually going to put Invoked in playable. It's going to move out of poo tier. I've actually been seeing Invoked do things. And I think it's just kind of the fact that because I'm climbing up from platinum to master this time, I've been able to see more deck diversity in the lower ranks, so I've been able to see more representation. And this deck had a lot of representation in lower platinum, and even some in higher platinum and low diamond. Like, I don't know why I'm seeing this deck a lot, but I'm seeing it. It's not super hard to get over, but if they get the right cards, it can be a little difficult for you. Naturia is pretty much dead at this point. Nemalaria is playable. I feel like if you're going to play Manju, the Nemalaria variant would be the better variant. They even got that card that lets you like banish a level 10 or whatever and draw 2. The deck is not horrible. It actually can just do a ton of shenanigans with Eater of Millions. I did a profile on it a while back. It has a lot of combos. Minkonko. I'm going to put it up here. It's an okay deck. It's definitely decent. It's basically better Numeron at this point. Magispector, they still don't have their support. They're poo-poo tier. You could play Blue Eyes. I'm going to take it out of poo tier. You could play it. I feel like it's the cutoff for what is terrible. It might move down to poo tier. Brandon Despia is still great. It's just doing its thing. Pure Cash. Cash is better as an engine right now. It's better as like splashable. You still do see Pure Cash, and I do feel like it's really disruptive to Snake Eyes if they get the Arise Heart out. I'm actually going to put Pure Cash as like an anti-meta deck with like back row floodgates, like D fissures and stuff into the top of the OK next to Manadium. Pure Monarchs, that's poo right now. Nurse Burn's bad right now. Plunder Patrol is bad right now. It's pretty much always going to be bad. Mutant. Ogotic. I'm actually going to put it behind Naturia. Water Control is playable, but the deck is really bad. I think that's actually going to be a cutoff. I think I'd rather play Blue Eyes than that at this point. Ironically, the deck actually has a really good Snake Eye matchup, but the deck is just too easy to get over. Infernoids, bad. I feel like I'd rather play Infernoids than anything below it, though. If I was going to be on the ladder. Pendulums are okay right now. I feel like they're in a good spot. Better than they have been. I feel like somewhere right in there. Arcana Force, you know where that's going. Scythelock. Scythelock has made a return. I actually saw someone playing Scythelock. I got Scythelocked and I was playing Snake Eyes, and I was just like, okay, I don't care. I'll just build a different board. I don't care. Scythelock's playable at this point. It's not the best. I think I got Scythelocked by someone running Super Heavy Samurai, and I was just like, okay. If it's pure artifacts, it would be in poo-poo. But Scythelock, if you can splash it in your deck, it's playable. It's neat. Boojins, no, that's bad right now. PK Fire variants, I'm gonna put it in playable. They're decent. They float. I've seen some people running like PK Fire with Snake Eyes and being like, why would you do this? Why have you done this? But the deck is okay-ish. Definitely better than the stuff in poo tier. Evil Swarm, poo tier. Fairy Tale deck, poo tier. Blunderies. Flutteries is actually in an okay spot right now, just because of all the Snake Eye matchups. It can be really annoying. The deck isn't super hard to get over. It's not super good or super bad right now. I don't really know if I should put it in okay or if I should put the head of playable. I I mean, if we would put hero in okay, I feel like I should do this. Move hero down to playable and put Flunderies as the barrier to the okay decks. No Velays is bad. I've seen it on the ladder. I just it's bad. I like the deck, but it's bad. Um, Kaiju's as a deck right now. They're better as an engine. Mayukashi as a deck right now, not very good. Melfi, same boat. Melfi Sprite would be the best variant, but it's still not good. Crawler is definitely in the toilet. I like Crawler. It's one of my favorite decks of all time. Bubbled a couple of regionals with it. It's just not there. Infernoid or Infernity, not Infernoid. Infernity. It just doesn't have the juice either. Um, Ice Jade. If I'm gonna be fair and put Burning Abyss, like Phantom Knight Adventure, good stuff deck in playable, I feel like I have to put Ice Jade in playable because it also can pop off. It's basically just make the big synchro, protect the board. Uh, I don't think the deck is good, but I do feel like it is better than Poop Tier at this point. Destiny Heroes, even with the lock, they're in the crapper. Dinomorphia. I see it a lot. I actually lost to it once. Not that bad. Not that good. Honestly, I'd rather run Darklaw if I was going to be playing it, but objectively, I feel like it's better than Heroes right now, so I put it in playable. Generator is still bad. For Hire, still bad. Galaxy is terrible. Like, every tier list, people are like, but Galaxy is good. It's not good. It's not. Like, I'd rather play Blue Eyes than Galaxy at that point. The deck. Just say no to Galaxy Eyes, not even once. Even if you got Master with it, you're the exception, not the rule. Remember, I actually did get Master a couple seasons in a row, running Inzectors just to prove a point that you can literally play any deck and get to Master. Doesn't make the deck good. Uh, Gemini FTK, it's bad right now. It's just too inconsistent. Blackwings are playable. The deck's actually decent. I feel like the deck deserves more representation. I personally don't like playing the deck, but I recognize that it's decent. You could play ABC at this point. I just feel like it's not very good, but it's playable, and you could play it on the ladder. Like, you theoretically could get to Master with it. Dark World's playable, especially Danger Dark World. I feel like it belongs like right there. Goki, Poo Poo Tier. Gravekeeper, Poo Poo Tier. Giant Ballpark Deck, Poo Poo Tier. Evil Eye, also in the Poo Poo Tier. Altergeist are playable. I feel like I'll put him there. I feel like I should also do that. There you go. Actually, I feel like I should do that. There we go. Cosmo. The can't be targeted for Dank Destroyer is really funny. And the fact that you can also float and you can even sometimes outfloat Snake Eyes with this. Well, not outfloat them because they have more resources, but you can kind of sort of keep up. God, I know this is a stupid take, but I'm going to put Cosmo in playable. I actually regret dusting the deck. I kind of want to make it again. Chain Strike, Chain Burn deck. It's bad right now. Adventure good stuff is playable again. They got some of their stuff back. It's not very good, but it's playable. I'm actually gonna put lower than Cosmo. Actually, Cosmo might have to move down because a lot of their stuff. Well, no, because you can chain it. So like if they you summon it and they Veiler and then you change tag out, that could be fine. Um, Ranking that deck is problematic because you don't really see it on the ladder. Like no one's really playing it anymore. Labyrinth is great at this point. Like I actually might put Labyrinth higher than Branded, strictly based on representation. This deck is everywhere and doing things. I think Master Duel meta on their list actually had it higher than Branded. Let's pop over and look. Because I was looking at their list and I was like, what are they putting? And so I'm curious. Because sometimes they make weird calls. The fact that they also put it on there is pretty telling. I do feel like that deck is actually just like the Mac Daddy of tier 2. Normally I disagree with Master Duel Meta's tier list a lot. Like they put Circular and Friends like at tier 4, and I think Circular and Friends probably still like maybe the butt end of tier 2 or the top of tier 3. I might move it down to be next to Cash by the end of this, but I feel like the deck is definitely still very good. Dinosaurs, Dynamorphia can be next to each other. Danger can be next to Dark World because they're pretty much the same deck at this point. Dark Magician. I just feel like this deck gets bodied by everything, even in the okay list. Like, Dark Magician playing into even the shitty Dragonlink board that Dragonlink can make at this point. Actually, I moved Dragonlink down. I'm actually going to put Flu higher than it. I'm going to pull Flu higher than Eldritch as well. These might go down to the playable. I already did Circular and Friends. Dark Lords are going to be in the poo tier. Dark Magician. Dark Magician's going to be in the poo tier. I just don't see it being playable right now with everything that's in the meta. I think it's just too. It would just be too easy to body. Crystal Beast, poo tier. DDD. They can still make like the old Emancipator board, but at this point, even like the 3 or 4 negates they can put out really isn't enough. I've been playing against this deck a lot lately with Snake Eyes, and I've been just absolutely bodying it, mainly because Snake Eyes runs so many hand traps. It's like the core engine, then like every freaking hand trap. It makes it a little bit harder for this deck to get started. And if they go second, you might as well forget about it. So it's going to move down into the playable tier. I know that's a big drop from being like B tier, but I think the comment section was right last list when I did the last tier list, and was like, I think it's too high. I think I agree with you right now. I think when there's less threats to the deck, it can move back up. But right now, even if you have a good pilot, like the deck, it is what it is at this point. Machine Toolbox. I think it's their butt end of playable. Exo Sister is still decent. Being able to banish, being able to stop graveyard shenanigans. I feel like it's actually going to be right behind Pendulum and OK decks. I feel like it's overlooked in this format too. Zombie variants are playable. I think I'll put them right there. Ice Barrier is bad right now. Live Twin. Live Twin Sprite, probably playable. Actually, I'd rather run Blackwing than them at this point. Pride are bad. Ghost Tricks are bad. Gold Pride variant, definitely playable. Gold Pride Punk is actually a really fun deck. Lunalight Try is still definitely a decent deck right now. If it's pure Lunalights, it's gonna go in the poo tier. I'm gonna put the Signaler for Try Brigade variants up here, but if it's like Lunalight Try, it's more like unplayable. But if it's pure Lunalight, then you're in the poo tier. Aeromage, poo tier. Aliens, bottom of poo tier. Paleozoic, poo tier. Metal Foe, you guessed it. What else are we just gonna have a big old batch in the poo tier? Actually lost to a Rika player, and I understand their cards a little bit better now. I put it in playable. I feel like if Ice Jade can be unplayable, Rika can be unplayable. I actually feel like Rika actually. I need to apologize to Rika. I feel like the deck, even though it's not very good, the deck is like decent enough. I feel like I'll put it under Dynamorphia. Rescue Ace is definitely playable right now. Rescue Ace is definitely Rescue Ace Snake Eyes. That's a fun variant. If it's regular Rescue Ace playable, if it's Rescue Ace Snake Eyes, it's kind of like bordering on okay territory. But for now, I think I'm gonna put it as the king of playable. Madolche is bad right now. You could play it. I just feel like it's gonna get out resourced and it's too slow. But I do feel like it's better than everything below it. So yeah, I feel like it can be in playable. Phantasm Spirals is bad right now. Tri Brigade, Lyric Subadabada. I'll put it right there. Numeron is okay. It's gonna be at the butt end of okay. I feel like Minkonko is just better than Numeron. We already covered PKBA. Pearly got some of their stuff back. The deck is playable again. Still not as good as it was, but I do feel like it goes somewhere in there. Orchist is not good right now. Muskets are not good right now. Ecclesia variants are actually okay right now. The deck, I feel like, doesn't have a lot of representation, but I do feel like Dogmatica is decent enough. Snake Eyes, that's the best deck of the format. You know where it's going. It's going right in the top slot. The deck does have its weaknesses, but damn, it is good. Uh, Gold Pride Punk we already covered. Rockets would kind of fall under the same territory as Dragon Link, except like a little bit worse. Although you are going to heavily rely on the rocket engine, so I'm actually not going to put that up there because if you're playing, it's going to be in the Dragon Link category. It's going to be like okay or playable depending on your variant. I'm seeing a lot of runic stun still, and the deck is just not. It doesn't have the juice anymore. The king of poo tier. Red Eyes, poo tier. Salaman, great. Playable. Scrap, poo poo. Scareclaw is okay. It has the juice. Actually, I feel like I'd put Scareclaw just because of combo ability and how decent it is. I feel like I'd put it up here. Prank Kids, you could play them. They're not that good right now. Subterrors, you're going to have a bad time. Super Heavy Samurai. I'm putting Super Heavy Samurai in great. You can fight me on it. I know that Master Duel meta has it lower, but this deck can still go off. It is very fragile, which is why it's probably one of the weaker meta decks right now, but it's good. Pure Predaplant, bad right now. Pure Shadal's bad right now. I encountered a couple of them on the ladder. It was super easy. Sprite is playable? Question mark. Yeah, right there. Nordics terrible. Not super. Six Samurai terrible. Skull Servant terrible. Speedroids playable. Still not super great, but we gotta be fair here. Gusto or Charmers or whatever that is, they're all bad. Yeah, that must be Charmers. That must be Gusto or Samorg. That's Samorg. Spiral. Pure Stardust, bad. Um, Sky Striker's okay. It can be at the butt end of okay. S Force is bad. What's it called? Spellbooks is bad. Quantum's bad. Weather Painter's bad. Hero Rose variants are bad. Toon is bad. Buster Blader is bad. Watts are bad. World Chalice is bad. Yosinju's bad. YuGiOh, at the time of me recording this, on the 4th is when I made this video, or recorded this video. The support has not materialized for Master Duel yet, so it is bad. When the support comes out, it'll probably move up. Zeus Turbo is bad right now. Zoo Try. Zoo Try is not a bad deck. I do feel like things like Sky Strike are actually a little bit more consistent than it, just because there are so many hand traps now in the game that I've been getting over Zoo Try by like having Imperm and Veiler in hand, or just other hand traps. Uh, we already covered zombies. Tier. Let's cover tier. Um, I'm gonna put tier in great decks. I'm gonna put tier basically in that tier 2 slot. The deck is really resilient. It's decent right now. I'm seeing it represented a lot, especially in low diamond. I feel like every 3 matches I play against tier, and I'm just like, oh geez, I have to slog through this again. Vanquish just fallen off. You don't see the representation as much anymore. The deck is still decent, still does decent things. I feel like pure cash, would actually be a better meta choice right now, just because of all the banishing, and Vanquished can be kind of like below that. VW bad. Visa Starfrost is more of an engine by itself. It's meh. Unchained. I'm gonna put Unchained at the ass end of great decks. It's moving up. It's no longer bad. They got all the support. I played against a couple of them. Actually had a difficult-ish time. I discovered that with Snake Eyes, I can just make them spells and traps, and then I don't have to worry about destruction effects, and also fill up their board in the back row. They can still pop them to get effects, though. Volcanic is now playable. All the support has made it playable. It is not the best deck to play. It is still very fun. And I like playing it as Burn. VWXYZ is bad. Zephyra bad. Pure Spring End's bad. Despia we don't really need to cover because the only Despia variants is like branded Despia with like the 2 or 3 Despia cards. And so we've already covered that. We already covered Try with Zoo Try. Lots and lots of trains. Bad right now. Trap tricks. Seen a lot of trap tricks lately. Very, very strange. I'm gonna put them here, actually. I'm gonna put them in playable. The Gravedigger Trap Hole is just a big punch in the balls when you're playing Snake Eye, and they do it to Poplar. Rescue, the old Rescue, like the Viacroid archetype, bad. UA, bad. Already covered zombies. Vylons, ugh. We have to make another tier like just for Vylons. Wind Up, Wind Witch, Constellar, Teller Knight Shenanigans, Pure Therion, Mech Lord, or whatever it's called, the annoying things, and Wind Witch all go in the poop tier. Sword Soul. Sword Soul is okay. It's gonna be Sword Soul 10 Yi realistically. So I'm gonna put them next to each other up here. You could play Thunder Dragons. It's not horrible right now. It's not the best either. Cover that, cover that, cover that, cover that, cover that, cover that. Trickstar. Trickstar bad. Cover that, cover that. Like, if you're playing Pure Yang Zings, it's bad. True Draco's bad right now. And yeah, that is your April 2024 tier list. Agree with me or disagree with me down below. Give the video a like if you liked my tier list and like my takes. Give the video a dislike if you think it's garbage. And I will see you guys in the next one. And as always, this video is sponsored by W Energy. You can use code SirLargeGaming with the link below to get 10% off. I really like that orange mango creamsicle flavor right now. That one is probably my favorite. And then the Dragonade and the blue raspberry. I'd say blue raspberry second, then Dragonade third. They give me more energy than like a canned energy drink from the grocery store. And I really like it. I mean, I don't know what else to say about the product other than I like it. If you are a person that needs caffeine to help you get through the day, and you're looking for something that's cheaper than getting a bunch of energy drinks from like Costco or whatever, it's like $30 for a tub of Dubby, and it has like they say it's 30 servings, but realistically I've got like 40 out of them. And you just put the powder in the shaker cup, shake the cup, good to go. Saves you a bit of money, and honestly I feel like it's a better product. But anyway, I'm gonna stop shilling, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.